Okay, bonjour, bonjour. Kamusta everyone? Kumusta va? For joining us today. Kasama natin si Ronaldo Llamas. Bonjour, Monsieur Llamas from Université from Paris. De Français. Kamusta naman dyan sa Paris? Wait lang, parang nilaglag yata kita. Secret ba yung location mo ngayon? Sorry about that. Kamusta naman dyan, boss?
Okay na, okay na.
Okay na, okay na.
Tapos na eh.
Okay na, sige, sige. Tapos na, wag nga natin pag-usapan. Baka sabihin, akala nila iba yung ginagawa mo sa Paris. Alam mo naman yung reputation ng Paris. Medyo, baka akala nila mayroon tayong ano dyan, mga extracurricular. Hindi naman. Okay, Sir Ronald, ito na, ito na. Yung minamahal natin ng mga politiko. Okay, ito na. So Ronald, balikan natin yung discussion natin last year. Di ba, remember before New Year, yung prognostications tayo. Sabi ko, if it were up to BBM, he'll try to still say, okay naman tayo, pwede na yan, di ba? Being conflict avoidant and all. And sabi ko,
Mhm.
baka naman over the holidays, magkakaroon ng, I don't know, soul searching and all. Does this latest, whatever you want to call it, ceasefire, non-aggression pact, I don't know, armistice, whatever you want to call it, don't you think na siguro si Digong medyo na-gets din niya na wala siyang leverage or mahina siya comparatively, or perhaps he should recalibrate yung fight niya kay BBM, and perhaps on the part of BBM, but perhaps he's much more comfortable, di ba, na slow burn lang until midterms and then go na for Chacha, which is what we're going to discuss later. I mean, what is your read on this semi-ceasefire armistice na nangyari between Digong and BBM?
Well, partly siguro ay tingin ni Digong ay nauubos yung kanyang political base at political machinery dahil halos wala nang natira sa PDP laban. No? Partly, baka nakita rin niya na yung attempt to agitate the military and link up the different grumblings into a political project ay parang hindi masyadong umaabante. No? At ikatlo, yung writing on the wall, yung ICC, is no longer just a writing. No? Mukhang sabi nga ni former spokesperson niya, Harry Roque, mukhang pumasok na rito. Pumasok na at seryoso yung approval ng presidente dun sa ICC. No? Kaya yung Christmas at New Year, yun nag-dominate. Yung mga podcast ng idol mo, si Harry. No? Meron siyang 3 podcast na very controversial. Practically, ang sinasabi nila, hindi na si Speaker Martin ang dahilan dito sa ICC. No less than the President. No? At panghuli, ay ingat sila kung papadampot nila si Digong sa ICC, baka magkagulo. No? Baka magkagulo. No? So, yan yung mga nag-dominate sa podcast niya. Kaya, hindi ko na-imagine si Digong na being circumspect. No? Pero, yung 3 elements na yan, na naubos na yung kanyang political base, mukhang hindi naman na-receive ng maayos at nag-fail naman siya na i-link up yung mga grumblings within the military maliban dun sa isang crackpot na Captain Dado, no, na nag-announce ng withdrawal support at transfer ng support kay Sara Duterte. At ikatlo, yung nakaramdam na siya ng kanyang mortality, na hindi na lang ito mga maneuvers, hindi na lang ito writing on the wall, kung hindi isang real threat sa kanyang hindi lang political future, kung hindi sa kanyang physical survival. No? Kaya siguro, isa yun sa dahilan kung bakit nag-send siya ng killers. Ang sabi kasi niya, I don't want to confront the president. No? I want to send a message, di ba? Indirectly. Yun ang word of the day. Indirectly. No? At tingin ko lately, nitong mga nakarang araw, bagaman sinabi ng presidente, ni President Bongbong Marcos, na willing siya makipag-usap kay ex-President Duterte, mukhang hindi naman nag-scale down yung mga atake. Nag-scale up pa nga eh. Kung nabasa mo yung atake ni Pulong Duterte, no? Kung nakita mo yung mga mga vloggers na pro Digong, no? Katulad nila Maharlika, no? Nagpatuloy naman yung atake. At ikatlo, may mga lumabas na mga video ni Vice President Sara, mga pictures ni Digong na parang hindi naman ganun ka-veiled o hindi naman ganun ka-indirect yung banat doon sa pulburon. No? So yan yung ikalawang word of the day, pulburon. No? Kita mo
Pulvoronic.
si
Pulvoronic.
Oo.
Yung term ni Marley.
Oo.
Kasi check ko yung video niya isa.
Oo,
Wait.
nila ni Maharlika. At
Ronald,
ngayon ay
Boss Ronald
Yeah.
Llamas, just for the purpose of some of our audience who may not be as avid watchers and fans of Bulljack TV or ano itong polvoron na yan? Kasi alam ko polvoron, ito yung biscuit yata, di ba? Yung lumang style polvoron. Pero alam ko, yung sinasabing polvoron ni Maharlika ay medyo ibang polvoron yan. Ano bang, is this like an OG kind of, the kind of a term for a certain day? Like, ano tong polvoron na to? Matagal pa yung ganitong expression.
Yan yung tawag ni Maharlika sa cocaine na ang kanyang charge ay gumagamit ang presidente. At hindi lang yon, meron daw video na kinuha yung isang close friend ng presidente or former close friend, no? Habang gumagamit ng pulburon.
Na hindi Vic Rodriguez
ang pangalan. Hindi Vic Rodriguez ang pangalan. Na gumagamit ng pulburon, no? Although ang sabi ng ex-president Digong nung kanyang press conference a few days ago, ang sabi niya ay hindi siya naniniwala ron, no? Tingin niya walang basihan 'yon, no? Bagaman yung mga tao niya at saka siya na rin at saka yung kanyang anak ay ginagamit na yung pulburon motif, no? Yun na yung ginagamit nila na parang hindi naman nakatago. Parang diretso na yung banat, no? Kaya
are you referring to the picture of
niya,
Digong eating the biscuit polvoron na parang asar lang yung mukha niya? Yung ba yun? Is that what you're referring to? Like,
tsaka yung video ni Sara, no?
Oh, hindi ko alam yan na. May video rin
may video siya about pulburon, no?
Oh my gosh. So even Sara pala nakisali na.
So very consistent yung pulburon narrative. Mula kay Maharlika, kay Vice President Sara, at saka kay President Duterte. So hindi nag-scale down. Mukhang nabasa nila na mukhang hindi naman kinokol ng presidente yung kanilang mga overtures, yung kanilang mga feelers, yung kanilang indirectly na pinapaabot, no? At saka yung sinasabi ni Digong na I am comfortable with the president, no? Mukhang yung comfort na yon ay natabunan na ng pulburon, ng mga pulburon ads nila, no?
pero di ba sabi ni, well, not BBM himself, but his press secretary said something like, bukas ang bahay ko, any moment you can drop by and we can have a conversation. Di ba may mga BBM nice urbane gentleman, may mga ganun. Hindi ba yun ang signal enough na we don't need to escalate this? I mean, what was the context of that? Kasi si BBM, si Duterte medyo nagpapa-lambing in his Digong way. BBM naman ay gentleman, suabe. Wala problema, sir. Pwede ka pumunta sa akin anytime. We can have a conversation. Just like yung after pag-visit niya sa Beijing, di ba? Ang dami na inis na pro-Marcos na kilala ko. Ito naman itong matandang to. Pinapayad si BBM. Ganyan. Pero si BBM relax lang. Winelcome niya sa Malacanang. Nag-meeting sila. Picture-picture. Everything looked nice. What's going on there?
Well, yung mga public na yan, no? Mga public display of affection, yung lagi mong ginagawa, no? Di ba? Marami kang PDA. No? Marami nakakakita sa iyo with the PDAs eh. Hindi ko na lang sasabihin kung sino yung mga kasama mo. No?
Sige lang.
Hindi ko na lang sasabihin kung sino yung mga kasama mo na nachichismis ka, no?
Wait lang, sino mga to?
Yeah. Yung mga PDA na yan ay sa intensity ng politika sa Pilipinas, medyo baliwala na yan eh, no? Sabi mo nga, ginagawa naman yan in the past, pero wala namang nare-resolve, di ba? Hindi naman nagkakaroon ng detente. Hindi naman nagkakaroon ng detente. Nag-escalate pa nga, nagiging open warfare na. Tawag mo civil war, no? So, tingin ko too much water under the bridge, no? Kaya may hirapan na. Kahit may mga ganyang overtures. At saka meron naman silang mga tao sa both camps eh. Meron naman mga tahimik na kumakausap. Tingin ko, yung mga kumakausap, wala rin silang mapulot na paglalambing from both sides. No? Baka nakikita nila na talagang the lines are drawn,
Yeah.
no?
And certain lines
Firmly.
have been
Kaya,
crossed. And certain lines have been
oo,
crossed.
kaya ako na, mahihirapan na. Kahit may press con, kahit may overtures, kahit may indirectly gusto makausap, gusto ipaabot, kahit merong comfortable statements. No? Mukhang yung mga nangyayari. Paano monitor ko rin yung kanilang mga vloggers eh. Tsaka yung mga troll farms eh.
Mukha
Kung
nga,
minsan ay
mukha nga.
nag-scale down.
Hindi naman obvious. Hindi naman obvious.
Mukhang hindi naman nag-scale down. Lalo na sa context nitong political project, hindi lamang ni Speaker, kundi mukhang may blessing na ng Malacanang, itong People's Initiative. So lalong nadagdagan yung fuel sa apoy, no? Nitong People's Initiative na ito. So I cannot see na ito ay nag-scale down. Kahit yung isang political analyst galing sa aking alma mater, no, ay sinasabi sa ABS-CBN, no, na kung pa naman hindi pa naman
Kilala
nadidivide.
ko yan.
Hindi pa naman daw nadidivide yung unit team at may some symbiotic relationship yung presidente at saka vice president.
Biological
No?
analysis.
Sabi ko, saan naman sako ng basura sa Quinta Market pinulot yung ganong klase mga analysis, no? So,
School of being nice to the bosses.
or baka nag-a-apply ng trabaho. Ano mukhang kakatanggal lang niya eh.
Ay, medyo back in the market pala. Alam natin yan. May kilala din ako sa alma mater ko ngayon na dati campaign manager and then biglang nagkaroon ng show sa isang channel. Next thing you know, puro lang siyang praise sa dating presidente. Alam ko, parang nag-apply ng trabaho ito. At in fairness,
oo nga. Parang maraming ganun eh.
Para alam mo, kilala mo yun. Ito yung marami sinasabi pero never nag-publish ng anything. Academic pa to, pa PhD pa ito. Pero walang na-publish ever pag nag-Google Scholar namin, halos zero. But anyway, mamaya na tayo magkahanap
ng lang, wala akong PhD. Baka isipin mo pa na kailangan ko mag-produce ng kwan.
Ikaw, Ronald, ikaw ikaw ay Socrates, kumbaga, di ba? You don't need to write it down. There'll be always a Plato to write down what you. Ikaw ay Socrates.
Wala ako kahit anong kwan eh. Kahit anong diploma eh.
Ikaw ano ka? Or OG. OG ang diploma mo.
Ronald, ako heckler. I'm just a heckler on the side.
But this is what I like about Ronald Botti. Hindi ka pretentious and all. Tandaan mga pretentious na professor, ganun. Tapos wala naman na-publish. Tapos inis sila pag point out mo yung nonsense. Tapos inis sila pag hindi sila yung hinahanap ng international media or yung mga matataas na journal kung saan medyo nagpa-publish tayo ng konti, di ba? Anyway, balikan natin, mamaya tayo magbardagulan sa next na yan sa chat. Balikan natin ito, Ronald. Huwag na natin pag-usapan yung mga ibang not worth discussing. No, ito, Ronald, kasi alam ko marami nakikinig sa atin. So, ingat lang tayo. Hindi, ito, Ronald. Ako kasi, ang pushback ko sa ganito, I would say, for all the sabogness ni tatay, I think he's shrewd enough to realize when he's hitting a certain threshold. I noticed that in his 6 years, pag alam niya, hindi niya pwede pilitin yung pro-China position niya, biglang magre-recalibrate siya. Pag alam niya, medyo sumobra-sobra yung mga EJ case ganun, magre-recalibrate siya. We saw that after Kian de los Santos. We saw after yung incident during pandemic. So I agree with you that he's not as sharp as coherent as should be, but I think he's still shrewd enough to realize he's hitting a wall di ba? Na eto na, nakikita na talaga niya yung limits of power niya. I think there's also this aspect, Ronald, of sobrang na-underestimate niya kasi si BBM Yung the whole weak leader, and then yung sinasabi niyong isang favorite mong vlogger na kuting, di ba yun? Kuting of the mga ganun. I think a part of Digong realizes maybe he's not kuting after all. Maybe he's more of a baby tiger than a kuting, di ba? And not to mention, of course, I'm not with BBM. He relies on pretty shrewd people to run the show, di ba? In his behalf. So Duterte is realizing their cards are not as strong as he thought. And probably is looking for some way of bringing down a little bit of temperature and then figuring out what's the next move. I think he's also realizing that at the end of the day, siya yung patriarch of the family Siyang kailangan magligtas ito. And Ronald, let's be honest, if Digong knew what he needed to do, Sara should have been the president today, right? If he knew how to engineer that succession, I don't think BBM would have even run for office. I think Sara had a very good chance of becoming the next president, or I don't know, getting someone like Isko in office or something like that, diba? So, so I think there's also a sense of guilt in him na, sayang, alam ko nga mangyayari ito eh, pero nangyari na ngayon at parang hindi natin kaya ito. So I won't be surprised that over the long holidays that actually medyo quiet si Digong, wala siyang sinabi masyado. Baka karoon ng konting illumination, maybe not 10 out of 10, but probably 4 out of 10 and all. Other thing is, ito Ronald, I'll ask you this. I mean, obviously, if you're BBM, your preferred situation is tatahimik ng konti itong mga Duterte na yan at eventually tanggapin na nila they're at best going to be secondary powers in the hierarchy. Probably not even secondary, but at least in terms of big dynasties, number 2 sila at best. And hintay lang niya yung 2025 and then dudurugin niya lahat ng kalaban, and by that time the Duterte camp has to accept that they're just going to be a minority, although quite a vocal opposition here, and then yun na yung maging pecking order. In short, BBM would rather have this a slow burn situation whereby tatanggapin ng kabila na this is the new pecking order. Hindi na kayo boss at medyo malayo na tayong dalawa. It's not gonna be a partnership anymore. It's gonna be an asymmetric alliance. Parang nangyari sa Russia and China today, di ba? For half a century, Russia was the senior partner in relationship with China during Soviet Union and earlier so post-Soviet Russia. But now, alam mo, parang medyo tanggap na nila Putin and Russia na sila yung secondary power in that relationship. So, we saw very OG gangstery people eventually accepting that shift in the pecking order. No, literally pecking, being on top right now, China. So, I don't know. I mean, maybe we're underestimating the rationality of Digong or his ability to realize he's hitting a wall. At the same time, siguro, Ronald, we are also underestimating BBM's ability to keep pressing his advantage while keeping things still relatively on an even keel or short of the threshold of what I call mini civil war or direct confrontation. I mean, what do you think about that perspective? Kasi pansin mo, mas naglilin ako on this side eh. Oo.
Tingin ko kung ganyan ang pagtingin ni Digong ay masasakyan ko pa yung una mo sinabi na ina-underestimate pa rin niya until now si BBM. Parang tinitingnan niya na BBM ay pagkakatiwalaan yung kanyang overtures. No? Na tingin ko ay bahagi ng underestimation, no, nung sinasabi mo kanina. No? Dahil if I were BBM, no, bakit ako magtutrus? Na alam ko naman na after the midterms, kung si Sara ang number 1 sa survey for 2028, yari kami. No? Yari yung mga Marcos. Dahil mag-shift na yung political loyalties again, magbabago na naman yung political alignment, realignment against them. Kaya habang malakas sila, between now and the midterms, gawin na nila yung dapat gawin. Kung hindi nila, paano? Digong is fighting for time eh. Delaying tactic yung ginagawa ni Digong eh. Diba? Until after the midterms. Kung mag-survive sila until the midterms, ang tingin nila ng mga Duterte, no? 2028 na yan. At sila ang leading sa 2028. At least ganun ang kanilang calibration. No? Ngayon, kung tatanggapin ni BBM yung ganyang overtures, no? At i-delay yung open warfare, no? I-delay yung durugan, then he will do so at his peril. Dahil after the midterms, magbabago ang complexion. Lalo na most probably, mas mataas si Sara kaysa kay Speaker Martin. No? Most probably. No? Unless ikaw ay may nakikita sa iyong bola kristal na probability na lalampasan ni Speaker Martin si Sara after the midterms. No?
Ronald, may nakikita ko sa bola ko, may bagong survey agency na lalabas after election. At biglang ang taas ng iba dyan. Like, akala nyo kayo lang may ganitong analytics. Meron din kami yan, di ba?
Natatawa nga ako dyan sa mga surveys dahil ang lalayo nila sa isa't isa, di ba?
Kaya nga medyo, alam mo naman, something is off here.
Ang layo ng SWS, no? What's happening, no? Naghahanap buhay pa itong mga to?
Uy, tama ka, Ronald. Dun sa Pulse Asia na hindi na-release. Mukhang may chance talaga yung opposition, no? I mean, at least 3 of them dun sa Magic 12, which we can talk in a separate episode. But Ronald, I want to keep it here because this is where we have to discuss 2 important curveballs, if I can put it one way. One is the ICC curveball, I don't know kung pwede mo i-timing yan because hindi kompletong control, pwedeng control ng gobyerno kasi it's also ICC can determine their time when they
Yes.
issue warrant of arrest. And the second issue is Chacha, which as early as right now, medyo ginagalaw na yung bola. But again, that will, so I think there are two moving parts here, medyo moving parts, lalo yung ICC part. So let's discuss that in the next episode because I think we have
Yes.
more or less established here where we kind of agree and where we slightly digress from each other. Ako kasi, probably I a little bit more appreciate Duterte's ability to recognize his mistake at the 11th hour. You seem to be more skeptical than me. At the same time, I think I'm also a little bit appreciating more BBM's ability to keep things on an even keel and then press his advantage. It's a very difficult skill. It's a very high level skill, but probably he has it. Maybe he's better than we thought. But I can completely agree also. I can see completely your argument that where you're coming from in terms of your skepticism on both counts. So maybe we can leave it there and go to the second episode, which is more important kasi none of our arguments will hold if something big happens on those two other fronts, especially in ICC, right?
Yeah.
Like that completely scrambles everything, right? So we froze those two variables of ICC and Cesar Indivi Chacha, and that's what we're going to discuss in the next episode. Thank you very much, Secretary Ronald Llamas, for joining us. Merci beaucoup. Thank you for joining us from Harry. That was good. That was good.
Merci beaucoup.
All right.
No? Happy Three Kings.
Oo nga pala. Happy Three Kings, sir. Of course.